Aries, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. Welcome here. I hope you are well. I hope Monday didn't push you around or push you down, call you names. I hope it was an easy entry to the week for you. Here we are on a Tuesday for you. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. This is going to be a reading for the week ahead. The readings that are for the signs are always for the week ahead. Whenever you find them, yeah, it'll always be for the week ahead. All right, here we go. Aries, we're starting out with the Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's find out what the overall energy is for this read here. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aries. Ooh. All right. We've got chaos and conflict. Interesting. Okay, bottom of the deck is a fork in the road. So you're making a decision, and I feel like in the past you've had conflict. Chaos and conflict. We're looking at threes. The threes keep showing up in Taurus's reading. I'm just saying. So if you have anything to do with the Taurus, you might want to go take a look there. Chaos and conflict. I feel as though you're either breaking away or breaking out of it. You're starting to really figure out who you are. You're becoming the true you. We have blue, right? And blue is synonymous with the that? Blue is, well, it's kind of a purple though, isn't it? It's a purple mixed with blue. So I would say that's the crown chakra is what that is. You're getting some downloads. You're finally figuring out who you are. You can see all of the pieces breaking away on the exterior of what I think is underneath. To me, it looks like a zebra, but the exterior made them look like a horse. So I feel like you are breaking out of some sort of a shell of chaos and conflict. You're starting to believe who you are. You're beginning to believe, you're getting downloads from the universe. The universe is showing you who you are. And so you are replying to the universe with this breaking away or breaking out of. It was chaotic trying to keep up your ego. It's a breaking down of ego. That's what it is. You were trying to keep up with this picture you had shown the rest of the world of yourself. But now you're becoming the real you. And what you're realizing is that change is hard and it can create chaos and conflict. But I feel it is the chaos and the conflict that has actually brought you to who you are. So we have someone here, Aries, I think it's you figuring out who you are. You're about to show the world your authentic self. And you're about to speak up. Yeah, you're about to speak up about who you are. We've got 3 and 3, which is 6. You're hoping people are going to give you reciprocity. All right. Yeah, you're up and out, man. You are up and out. That's what it feels like. We've got the 3, which is the boat or the ship. It's about going places. It's about lifting yourself out of a hard situation that has come to an end. That's what it feels like. It also feels like you are now authentically acting in your Empress energy. Whether you're masculine or feminine, right? You're acting in the Empress energy. We've got the 10 of spades in the bottom right-hand corner. Can you see that? It's a little bit, there we go. And that is the closing of a cycle. That's the 10 of swords. So you're lifting yourself out of a cycle that has been tough for you. It's been super tough. It's been chaotic. There's been a lot of conflict, but this has made you become authentic with who you are. The park, or the Lee as they call it, is a place where people gather. Gather for picnics, gather for marriages, gather for teas. It's like a gathering space. And you're not sure if you're ready for social interaction, being the authentic self. You've hidden behind this shell of who you are for so long, Aries, that you don't know that you're ready to show the rest of the world or your friends or family or social places who you really are. Since you've lifted yourself out of the chaos. Interesting. You're feeling in a little bit of lack, I feel. You're not really sure. Feeling in lack, feeling like people aren't going to understand who you are under that hard shell. Because I think you've had a hard shell for a while, Aries. I think the hard shell for you is the ego. You're trying to release the chaos and the conflict that has kept you acting in ego, which really isn't you. That's what I feel this hard shell is on the outside. The ego. It's not you. It's who you had to be in order to protect yourself while you were in the chaos and the conflict, Aries. That's what it feels like. All right. Ten of Pentacles. Six of Wands. Three of Wands. Yeah. You're cutting yourself away from an attachment here because there is some other communication that needs to take place. I feel like you are lifting yourself out of the chaos and the conflict here, that you are rising above it all, taking off in another direction. Now that you are, I feel, at the Empress level, like I said, regardless of whether you're masculine or feminine, I feel that you are now lifting yourself out of or rising above the chaos and the conflict. And I feel like the chaos and the conflict had to do with a long-term relationship here. But understand, I feel as though that the reason that you had this ego, Six of Wands, is because you didn't feel who you were underneath as enough, Aries. But I feel like you are now breaking out of that. I feel like you're breaking away all of the pieces of the ego, feeling above other people, feeling like the center of attention. Or maybe now you do have attention because of, I feel like this long-term relationship is behind you. That's what I feel. That this long-term relationship did bring chaos. Yeah, it broke down. The Five of Pentacles across that card tells me that you're possibly disconnected to or feeling in lack of, feeling a little bit in lack as you move forward into, what is for the rest of your life. The Three of Wands, we're waiting and we're watching and we're looking, waiting for the right time, waiting for the knowledge, waiting for everything that I need before I can move forward. I feel like you're looking for home or a person to call home or a place to call home. I feel like that you want victory in going out into the world and showing them who you are, going out on an adventure. You've already made the decision to go. That's why I feel like you've made the decision to leave a long-term relationship. And I feel like your ego, don't get me wrong, when I say ego, I don't necessarily say it in a derogatory term. Because in some cases, when you really don't know how to deal with a situation you've never been in before, Aries, you will always default to the ego, right? I don't care about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that thing. You know what I mean? You try and let everybody think that it has nothing to do with you or it doesn't bother you. I feel like where you're going is to open conversation with someone, to have conversation or talk about a contract. I feel like this communication is going to be very honest and truthful. It's going to be the clearest conversation you're ever going to have, because now that you've released yourself into the world without this hard coating or this hard shell of ego, I feel like you just are going at this like It is what it is. I'm just going to say what I got to say. And I'm going to give clarity and truth and honesty to this conversation. Wherever you're going, wherever you're waiting to go, is a place where you're going to speak to someone, I feel. And you're going to ask for reciprocal conversation. You're hoping it's going to be reciprocity, right? This thing that you've been holding on to for a long time that's kind of kept you a little bit out of balance. I feel like you want reciprocity in the truth and honesty and clarity that you're about to give to another person. This other person could be the Queen of Swords. Doesn't have to be, but I feel as though you could be the Queen of Swords too. I'm just saying there is somebody here who is willing to speak the truth now. They've spoken the truth and are cutting themselves away from this devil energy. Breaking the chains. That's what kept you in your ego, was the devil energy. It was the fear, not being yourself. It's not speaking aloud, or maybe speaking really loud and people kind of being angry with you because you spoke out of maybe emotion rather than logic. So I feel like this connection here, whatever this is, if this is a connection that you're moving to, I feel like you definitely have moved away from something that no longer serves you, even if it was meant to be long term or you thought that it was. I feel like you take your abundance and go. The Six of Wands. You go off to, I feel like whatever happened back here was terrible, because the Six of Wands is someone who's come back from the war or the fight. Someone who's come back and they're still alive. They made it. It feels like it was a really terrible thing. And that the long-term relationship is behind you, and maybe there's not much conversation because you have decided to move forward. Move forward into the rest of your life, into the expanse of the rest of your life. I feel like you're learning lessons. I feel like you're manifesting. I feel like you're ready to receive. Your hands are open. And I feel like you think you can do anything that you want, and you can, and that's the truth. But you finally have realized that you can also do it authentically, that you don't have to hide yourself anymore. I feel like the devil lends a little bit of fear, confusion, and anxiousness to wherever it is that you're going. You've never been on this path before, and that may be why you hesitated or you're waiting, Aries. But the Queen of Swords tells me that you're no longer going to sit here and not say anything about whatever it was that happened here. I feel like you're now going to just speak honestly, because you're now not in fear of losing anything. I think for a long time you sat in fear, thinking that if you showed people your authentic self, and if you didn't live in the chaos and the conflict, people would feel some type of way about you and how you're living your life. But this tells me you no longer care. Nope, I don't care what people say. I got something to say, and now you're going to listen. You can come forward if you want, but be sure that I'm going to be incredibly clear and honest, to a point that maybe it could be a little hurtful. I'm saying. I think it was a lesson you had to learn, is to speak up. Yeah. And the Queen of Swords is only part of the Empress, right? That's the one who is the protector, who wields the sword of truth, who's always going to tell the truth. I feel like whatever is coming here, there is going to be a conversation that is going to be had, brand new conversation, I feel, about a new contract, a new life, a new conversation, and new clarity. You're hoping to get reciprocity in this. I feel like that if it doesn't work out for you, that you're just going to try and cut through this devil energy here. You're going to cut somebody away. That's what it feels like. You might feel that you owe an apology, or someone owes an apology to you. There could be an age difference here, but also I feel because you've been in a long-term relationship that maybe you're just kind of out of practice about love, and maybe that's why we're seeing the page. You're not really sure. Maybe you're unsure of the feelings that are going to happen here. I feel like in your mind, in the future, there is going to be happiness anyway once you get through the things that have been plaguing you at night, keeping you up at night. I feel like you're going to work through those things, and things are going to work out for you. Let's take a look here, Aries. Okay. Understood. So there was a false person. So this could be a feminine or a masculine in your life. It doesn't have to be a life partner, but I feel that they were. I feel that the relationship you were in, the long-term relationship, Aries, was a lie. That you chose to see what you chose to see. And I think it's because you were under this heavy concealed self, heavily concealed self. I feel like you weren't living the true self as you are right now. I think you've grown a lot, but I feel like the false person was someone that you feel lied to you or was lying to you the whole time about money. They could be lying to you about wanting to see you have victory. I feel that that's the reason that you decided to speak up. You're no longer taking this crap. Nope. You're no longer taking it. The false person is the one you're going to cut away. You're having harsh conversation with this person. I don't know who they are to you, but this person had you imprisoned. Yeah. They had you thinking a certain way about yourself, about other people. You felt like you couldn't move. You felt like your hands were tied. You felt like you couldn't move forward or get your own balance. You almost felt as though you were a prisoner in this relationship, this long-term relationship. It kept you imprisoned. The false person kept you imprisoned. It's like they kept you in a thought pattern that wasn't your own until you were able to understand what was going on. This person, I feel, is someone who's not in love with you. Or you were in love with them, but they didn't love you as much as you love them. One of the two. There they are. False person and imprisonment. What's going on here? This person is the person that kept you from victory, it benefited this false person, or maybe you were the false person. I'm just saying, maybe you were the false person in this relationship. And because you were stuck under this, you can see this, I want to call it a shield or a crust or whatever it was keeping you contained from who you actually were. So you could be the false person in this relationship as well. You could be someone who thought what they wanted is what they wanted, but you realize that you don't want it anymore because it kept you hidden. It kept you hidden here, right? In the chaos and the conflict. You didn't tell anybody. You weren't telling anybody. You weren't pleading your case. You kept quiet. But it was toxic. It was hella toxic. Yeah. And that's why you're leaving. You've been thinking about leaving the situation for a very long time. Waiting for the ships to come in. You were waiting for the right time to do it. This is very strategic. Could be dealing with a Capricorn. Could be dealing with Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Don't have to be. So you begin to work harder. You start to work harder. And I think in the midst of working really hard and going over the details, and it feels like the only place you went is work and home and work and home. You didn't have a social life. You're working really hard at being who you want to be rather than the person that everyone sees. So it was a situation as I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose here. I'm not going to give up because I'm not going to lose in this long-term relationship. That's what I feel it is. And then you release it. And in releasing that energy of the right fight, of there's no way I'm leaving this marriage because marriage is forever, in that energy, I feel that as you work, like it's a meditative situation, the place that you work, I feel that you start thinking about leaving while you're at work. I feel like there's something going on while you're working. You have a type of work that doesn't really require you to be there present mentally. That's what it feels like, that you find meditation in whatever it is that you do because you love work. I feel it's in that energy where you decide to stop this silliness, to stop standing your ground, to stop keeping yourself imprisoned in a situation when you could have freedom. And so I think you drop those burdens. Yeah, 7 and 3 is 10, right? So you drop those burdens, I feel. And you head on your way on a new path. Look at that. You head on your way, but I feel like you head with an opportunity in your hands. It's like this opportunity had stopped moving. Now that you've released yourself from the situation, from the false person, and from the imprisonment, you can now move forward. I feel like you can now move forward to this new path. Now you're unstuck. That's what I see the 7 of Wands in the reverse is. You're unstuck. You've unstuck yourself here. And now you're able to move forward. There we go. There's movement here, right? You've learned the lesson. And the truth of the matter is, y'all, is that we will repeat the lesson, right? So, let's just say that we're looking at a long-term relationship that's not working out. And it hasn't been for years. And you decide, you know what, I'm just going to renew the love here. I'm just going to renew my commitment, renew the love. I'm going to try harder. And all you did was you got yourself deeper and deeper into the false person and the imprisonment. That it was over, but you wouldn't let it go because you were standing your ground. But now that you're releasing yourself from that, it's time to move forward. And that's really beautiful. Look at that. What's going on in the future? Going on in the future for Aries, please. There we go. It is the Fool. You've decided to move on. I can't even tell the story as good as the cards can, right? I'm just interpreter of the cards. That's all it is. And this is you releasing yourself from being someone who you never were. You've realized it was someone that you never were. And you start to peel back the layers. It's time to communicate. It's time to communicate with the Empress. Okay. We had mentioned the card number 3 over here. You could be rising above it all in order to be able to see the Empress, because you've been feeling in lack or disconnected. Because I'm looking at I'm looking at the 20 and the 3, right? 23, 3 and 2 is 5. And that's lack. There's been no communication. There's been silence here. I feel like you just need to find the backbone to do it. You do. You need to find the backbone and keep moving forward here. Because the person that you had become, or the person that you allowed this long-term relationship to turn you into, is not who you are. Who you are is you're gonna figure that out on this path with the Fool. That's what I think. Yeah. I'm going to go for now, Aries. Thank you so much for clicking here. If you're interested in a private read based on this or any of the other readings that I do, please let me know by going to Wizio and booking your appointment and letting me know exactly what you need. I'm there to help you. I'm going to go for now. Love you guys. Bye-bye.